Grace Heinman, and I'm glad that I'm here today to tell my story. I hope that it encourages y'all and enables other people to be able to come out and tell their story for God's glory. But I was raised in New Jersey on a fast track. I was not exposed to God. I was raised in the Methodist Church and did sing in the choir, but I just didn't have a relationship with Christ. I was bullied a lot as a kid for my weight, and that's kind of spiraled my whole life of self-hate. In high school, I was in an ungodly relationship, and really, I think looking back, I just really wanted to be loved, and it was an emotionally, physically, just everything, an abusive relationship. In high school, I became bulimic, and I started cutting myself, and that continued on throughout college, basically, and God blessed me with intelligence, at least academically. So school did come easily to me, and that's kind of where I had accomplishments. So I felt fulfilled by those accomplishments, but inside I was dead in sin, and I would either define myself with my sin. So I was ugly in these lies, I was ugly and fat, and nobody would ever love me, and I was a cutter and a bulimic. And so in college, I continued on that cycle, and then I started working out a lot, which everybody thinks that's good, but it became obsessive to the point it was bad, and then I turned to alcohol as well, and I would sometimes drink a bottle of wine a night, just go to sleep. And I remember laying there just thinking, like, there's got to be more, you know? Oh, sorry. So I got married, and I was blessed with a child, but I was still not happy. Even after vet school, I was a vet, and I just was still lost. And so I went outside of my marriage and hurt my husband at the time and my child. And I don't know. Then of course I can label myself as an adulterer, or adulteress. And so that just continued on, the shame. And then I continued in a relationship, and we were living together and not in a Christian relationship. And I got pregnant, and I was so afraid and ashamed that I decided not to keep it. So I did have an abortion a few years back. That was the worst day of my life. That was probably the lowest of the low. So at this point, I was filled with so much shame of being a cutter and a cheater and a murderer at this point. So there wasn't much lower I could get at that point. And something inside of me just made me reach out, and I wanted to read the Bible. And so I vowed to read the Bible from cover to cover. And I started reading it, and I was convicted. And I didn't really have anybody to go to. I had visited a lot of churches previously, and they were kind of lukewarm churches, very judgmental. I just wasn't comfortable there. So I was still really lost at that point. And so I didn't go to church. I just read the Bible and studied it on my own. And then the Holy Spirit led me and my husband together at my current job. He came in as a client with his cat, and I had a supernatural pull to him that also brought me peace, and he had the same thing. And so we were married about a year later after meeting, and we were blessed with a son. But we started watching sermons online from Church of the Highlands because I still wasn't really comfortable yet being around people or going to church. I just didn't trust it yet. And at the end of every sermon, that pastor always leads everybody through the sinner's prayer. And I had never heard that, even growing up in a church. I'd never heard that before. So that just really convicted me, and I decided that I realized I needed Christ, and I believed, and literally just surrendering my life to him, that he gave his life for me, like everything, all those questions I always had were finally answered, and I finally knew the truth. And now I have this fire in me that I just want to serve him and serve others and reach out and tell you that if you feel like you're too far gone, you're not. Trust me, you're not. Just reach out. Just reach out. I'm more than happy to speak with you if you have more questions. I know we don't have a lot of time to go through this, but Christ is the answer, and he loves us all, and all he wants is for us to ask. So thank you for letting me share my story with y'all today.